Hello all, welcome to Edukemy. Myself Rahul. Today we are starting a series on the analysis of modern Indian history's question which are based on themes. So let us take the first theme that we'll discuss today. Mid-18th century India, the rise of autonomous states and the rise of British supremacy in India. So if we consider the mid-18th century India, so these are the questions that were asked in the UPSC previous years. Now, the question that was asked in 2003 was, what was the reason for Shah Alam to spend time away from his home? So, the second question was Jahandar Shah and reasons why the reign came to an end very early. So this was the question they were asking in 2003. Yes, lately not many questions were asked from the mid-18th century, particularly the Mughal emperor perspective. So here the question is related to the Mughal emperor and his personality. So this becomes important when we read our previous year's questions and when we study this part. Mughal emperor and personalities are important. Now what is related to this personality? So important features, important developments during the time of when the individual emperor is important. For example, Shah Alam II. Shah Alam II, when we consider the Battle of Buxar, so Treaty of Allahabad becomes very important, and the provisions in the Treaty of Allahabad, this was one of the reasons why Shah Alam had to spend time away from his empire, and because he was the virtual prisoner of the East India Company during that time. So 1764 Battle of Buxar becomes important in this part, and also the Treaty of Allahabad becomes very important. If you analyze the second part, Jahandar Shah and reasons why the reign came to an end. So here the personalities of the emperor they are asking, and also the reasons why there was a decline after each and every emperor. So this is the reason. So here Farooq Siyar, his nephew, he had a battle with his nephew, and this is the reason why Jahandar Shah is defeated and killed. So this is about the mid-18th century India during that time. Also one of the very important dimension or theme of mid-18th century is the rise of autonomous states. You take the independent states, the successor states, so all are part of this particular theme. Now let us look to the questions first. So if we consider the first question, rulers and streamline Maratha administration. So here the importance of not only the states but their important rulers, Balaji Vishwanath, that was asked in the question. Second question is related to established embassies in foreign countries. It is regarding the Mysore Empire. Mysore Empire, the question was regarding the particular ruler. So here too, you see personalities are given more emphasis when mid-18th century questions are asked, even from the rise of autonomous states. So even if we are considering the Marathas, even we are considering the Mysores, so the personalities are given a very important place. Ahmad Shah Abdali and reasons to invade India. When the governor who was set up in India by Ahmad Shah Abdali, he was thrown away by the Marathas, and that is why in revenge Ahmad Shah Abdali led the battle of Panipat against the Marathas. So battle of Panipat. So again you see over here the importance in the questions, battle of Panipat. The importance again is given to various battles and various personalities. So when we consider the mid-18th century, we have the Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar, Battle of Panipat. So while studying, give emphasis on the reasons why these battles are happening, the persons the stakeholders associated with these battles, and also the implications of these battles. Now let us move ahead. Rise of British supremacy in India. One of the very important sub-themes when we consider the mid-18th century. So the first few questions that were asked from this sub-theme is Mughal ruler and corresponding European traders. So when this Britishers, they are getting permission to set up their factory in India, the trading post. So who the corresponding ruler was there? Jahangir. So again here, person-centric question is asked to you. An important development is asked to you. Arrival of Europeans and their factories in India. This question was also asked in 2021. The earliest factories of British in India before 1625. This was asked. So Surat, the earliest factory in Surat, and later on in Masulipatanam. So how were the earliest factories? Their location is asked. So location of the earliest factories. Now Dutch and their earliest factories. British and their earliest factories. These questions you see right in 2003, 2005, 2006 on the same theme. It is depending. So what becomes important here in the rise of British supremacy in India is one, the British and other Europeans and their earliest factories. These are very, very important sub-themes what we understand from the analysis of previous year's question. Now let us move ahead. British and the earliest factory or the earliest fort. So important Fort William, Fort George. These are some of the important forts in with context to the early British Empire in India. So order of arrival of Europeans, Portuguese, the Dutch, the Britishers, and then the French. So this is the order of arrival of Europeans in India. This chronology was asked many times in the previous year. So order is important. British and their forts in India. British and permissions to set up factories. Again the same question. The personalities, the location, and the time period. This becomes very important in terms of setting of British factories in India. Arrival of Europeans in Pondicherry. 2010 question. Rise of British supremacy, the various important battles, the Carnatic battle, the Plassey, the Buxar. So what is more important in this is the important stakeholders, important battles and involved stakeholders. Whether you take the battle of Carnatic, Plassey, the Buxar, subsidiary alliance, Wellesley, the one he is associated with the Britishers in India, the subsidiary alliance, the doctrine of lapse. This administrative tool that used by British in India becomes very important when we consider the rise of British supremacy in India. Important battles and results, important battles and chronology. Now when we talk about important battles and chronology or stakeholders, which are some of the important battles? When we take the Battle of Ambur, 1749. It was fought in the Second Carnatic War. It is important. The Battle of Wandiwash. 1760s. Also the Treaty of Paris after this is important. Then we have Battle of Plassey. 1757. Battle of Buxar. The Treaty of Allahabad after the 1764. So we have the battles, we have the years, we also need to understand the chronology of this battles. and also understand the stakeholders who were involved against the Britishers in this particular battles. So that is how you understand this important parts. You do not need to study again and again the whole portion, but systematic and smart work is needed when we approach certain themes. So these are some of the important aspects when we study this particular themes. So this particular analysis on the basis of themes of previous year's question with respect to modern Indian history will continue in the next video too. So till that time, do subscribe to our YouTube channel on Edukemy and also hit the bell icon. Thank you.